Hey everyone, today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to work in a mixed media art journal. I picked up this Strathmore journal at a garage sale or a secondhand store or something in the summertime, but it's got mixed media paper, so I thought I'm going to do a page in this. It does have some smudges on this first page, but I think if I'm using some ink and different stuff, it should cover that up. But anyways, I forgot to bring in, I'm going to grab something to put in between. I've never worked with a mixed media journal before, but I'm assuming if there's going to be any water or anything on the paper, I need to have this protected. So let me find something. Okay, I've got just some plastic packaging. It's the best I could find right now. Hopefully that's going to work. I mean, it should protect the other page. I don't even 100% know what I'm going to do. So let me just set that aside for a second. Being that tomorrow is Remembrance Day, I have got some poppy stickers that have been in my stash for quite some time. Just a second, my letters static clung to the back of that. I think I'm probably going to use this sheet. And I have printed out the poem In Flanders Fields. And I also have in black letters here, I have printed out the words "Lest We Forget." So I want to have that on there. I'm just going to pop those down off to the side. I printed the poem out, excuse me, in white just so that I could see the size of it. I'm not going to use the white one, but I did it in parchment paper and also in this light cardstock. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. So let me first, I'm just going to tear this. And I'm probably going to end up tearing it smaller yet. And probably not with a ruler. I just kind of want it a little smaller. Excuse me. A little smaller than it is right now, just to, it's just gonna make it easier for me. So, let me just see. I kind of think I might like this color better. But you know what, that might change dependent on what I actually do with this. So let's start on this. Let me move those letters off to the side. I do have a few different Distress Oxide inks. I've got Vintage Photo, Ground Espresso, and Scorched Timber. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. And I also have some Distress Mica sprays. I have the Antique Bronze and Tarnished Brass. And then I have this Recollections Gold Glitter Mist that I'm thinking of kind of using a paintbrush and painting some of that on. But where do I want to start? Let's bring this in again for a moment, and I'm going to just roughly tear doing this one first because I think I'll probably use the other one, but I just want to see kind of what it will look like. I don't want a really even look. I want it to be kind of messy looking. poppy stickers kind of around it. This is actually going to be a little lower because the words are going to be up here. So I am speeding through this part because it is a train wreck. I added some vintage photo ink on. I did not like the color of it, so then I added some ground espresso. Didn't like that, so now I'm painting on some of the gold glitter mist, and that was way too dark. So I'm just tearing the other poem down here with this other color just to see what it looks like, and I painted the edges of that with the gold glitter mist, which I actually really liked, and I do keep that. Seeing what the poppies would look like, oh, this is just a mess. But I decided to keep going with it. Ink splatter, nope, that didn't help. So I ended up taking some white acrylic paint, mixing it with a bit of water, and trying to mute those colors a little bit just to tone it down, and it still was ugly. But I wanted to see what it would look like with the Lest We Forget letters on there. Still not good. I really don't like that background. I just can't. I cannot do it. That one is going in the garbage. Okay, let's start fresh. Do I want much on the background? So this is take 2 because I have thrown my first page in the garbage. Let's see how this one goes. Again, I'm just speeding up the process of putting the letters on to see what they look like. Lest we forget, Flanders Fields. With some poppies. See, the background is too plain. And being that it is a mixed media journal, I wanted to do more mixed media, but maybe that doesn't really fit with this particular page. But I have outlined this with the glitter mist, and I do want to incorporate some of that color. Maybe I will just maybe I should just splatter some. Take everything off, splatter some of this on here. Let's try that. But I am going to bring in the box. And all I'm going to do is open this up and literally splatter color in a few random, well, kind of all over, because parts are going to be covered up with stickers, with letters, and with the poem. So that's probably good enough. Okay, this is dry and I've got my words lined up. Thinking something like that. Bring in my reverse tweezers and my Barely Art glue with its nice precision tip. And I will start with, oh my gosh, there is a stink bug climbing on my desk. Okay, that's gone. At least it wasn't a spider, or you would have heard some louder screams or yells. I don't like spiders. Other bugs aren't such a big deal. Just don't want it climbing on my work surface. Okay, we will start way up here. And again, just speeding this up. I do think it is very important that we not only remember our history, but that we actually learn from it. Okay, I've got the words on there. I'm happy with those. I almost, the way I've got this paper painted with that gold that this is also splattered in, I almost want to go around the edges of the page also and make those gold. So I'm just taking that gold glitter mist again, pouring a little bit out, and with that same paintbrush just painting the edges, and I wanted it to look messy. I didn't want it an even gold around there, so there's little splotches here and there. And of course doing this part was the most difficult, trying to get in between all the little coil bindings there, but it worked. Okay, I'm going to lay it like that. And that is going to go there. So where did my glue go? Might as well just pop that right on. This poem is still etched in my memory, which is a good thing. We had to recite this in elementary school. Because when I was in elementary school, most of us still had, well, yes, we had relatives that had fought in World War I and World War II. Or at least one of them. One of my grandfathers fought in both World Wars. And one just fought in World War II. My father-in-law is who I generally think about on Remembrance Day. He was born in Warsaw, Poland, and he was 19 years old when Hitler invaded Poland. And he was captured by the Germans, captured by the Russians, eventually was sent over to England and finished out his time in the war serving with the British 8th Army in the Polish Corps. And I actually, several years ago, actually 20 years ago, this Christmas, I made up a scrapbook album for my in-laws, and this is my father-in-law at 19 years old in the war. So that's who I often think about on Remembrance Day. He was one of those rare people that had countless war stories that he actually talked about. He went through some, obviously, everybody went through horrific things in the war. But when he went through the war, he told himself that he was going on a great adventure. And his outlook, I think, really helped him throughout. He has countless stories that he would recount to us of ways that his life was spared during the war. Just amazing, phenomenal things. Okay, where do I put some of these? Maybe this guy should go over here. Oh, I should have tucked this one in behind here. I don't know that I can peel that up. Oh, look at that, I can. Because I want this guy to go down here first. How about right there? And then these little ones can tuck in here. Right there. One big one right up here. That might actually be enough. Sometimes less is more. Part of me wants to put more on there, but I don't think it needs it. So I think I will just stop right there. So here's my first page of my mixed media art journal. You can see the edges that I've inked up with that glitter mist. And I have splattered with the glitter mist, and then have In Flanders Fields by John McCrae, and poppies. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, peaceful day.